let's look ahead to this quarterback competition. I've never heard of a backup quarterback competition that's going to get more press, but wow, this is going to be the focus of OTA's minicamp. I mean, just imagine every day you come home, you want to talk about Jair Brown or Cam Latu. Everyone's going to be like, yeah. How did Sam Darnold and Trey Lance look? Give me every throw. So what do you think about this quarterback competition? What's your expectation?
I think the thing for me is I see so much discussion about this, and there's so many. It's a very polarizing topic because it seems like
whose side are you fucking on, Jack?
Exactly. You're either if you believe that Darnold has even a chance to do anything, you're shitting on Trey Lance, and if you think that Lance can do anything, you're not giving Darnold his run. What I don't understand is if the people that really believe in Trey Lance that also are going to tell you that Sam Darnold sucks, why do they give a shit about what anybody's saying about this whole thing? Because if Trey Lance is as good as you say he is, why are you even worried about Sam Darnold, who stinks to you? Just let him go out and play. What's interesting here is these are two guys who I think are very similar. I think they're both guys that put a lot of highlight reel plays on film. You can see what they're both capable of.
Right.
But you
tantalizing.
Yes. They've both put out things that make you want to see more if you just watch.
Which is why they were the third pick in the draft. Not the first pick, mind you. The third, that's a good spot for someone who's tantalizing.
Yes. And they have the highlight plays. They have the things that say, man, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's just something there. And I think, but
only we could harness it.
Yeah, but and you start to look through it, and both they are very similar. Their turnover ratio in the NFL is similar. Their completion percentage in the NFL is similar. And their ability to move and run in the NFL again similar. I think that Sam Darnold might be a little bit better runner than Trey Lance, but and the reason I say that is because of what we saw of him at Carolina this last year. You saw him running some zone read stuff in in his six starts. You saw him do some zone read stuff. If you watch his film in the game against Detroit, that one would make you think that this guy is a runner because they're running zone read on Detroit like nobody's business. And he's handing it off.
Trey hasn't been as fast since he hurt his knee in Arizona or something. Cause I don't understand, man. He, in that game against Houston, which was his best game, he did not run well in that game at all. He played quarterback well in that game. But, man, I think it was Eric Reed's little brother stuck him a couple of times.
Yeah,
Justin Reed.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where they try to run him outside, and Justin Reed, you're right. And I do think that he struggles with getting to the edge. I don't think he's as sudden or as quick to be able to get there as what they thought. And I think that's why it's true.
I thought he ran like a champ in that first start against Arizona. It was like him against the world, but he took so much punishment in that. I don't feel like he's been the same since that game, man. I mean, 16. Remember that one where he got his helmet knocked off? It's like, dude, you're not gonna last, man. You got to stop. Yeah,
that's the one everybody was like, oh, look at that. He looks like Steve Young out there.
He did kind of, but it was like, man, you can't. Steve didn't last playing like that. You can't do that.
No, he didn't. And this is just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. This is where, for me, I think, I'm boring on this topic compared to some other people because I don't know what Trey Lance is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Trey Lance is. I'm like, he's done some, what do we know? He hasn't really played enough. He's who knows? And then you look at Sam Darnold and you're like, he's played a lot, but he's played with shitty teams and shitty coaches. And for the most part, he hasn't had
shitty results.
Yeah. And, I talked about,
so who's more worth your time and investment, right? The guy who's been in bad situations and had a lot of bad football, or the guy who's been in good situations, but hasn't played much?
Yeah. Well, as far as an investment, I would say you'd go with the younger guy, right?
Yeah.
But the younger guy is Lance, and Lance might be the guy that ends up being more expensive than Darnold over the long term. It's
true.
I think you put the ball out there, you let these guys go. You look at. Here's the other thing. I'll just say it because I know that Darnold. You put up his numbers, what he did in his last 6 games, right? And it's 9 touchdowns, 5 whatever. You look at Lance in his last 5 starts. You go back to his last game in college, which was, I know it sucks because it's just one game, right, in 2020. And then you look in his 4 starts with the 49ers. In his 5 starts, he has turned the ball over 5 times. 2 times in the last game at North Dakota State. He had a fumble and an interception. He's thrown an interception in every start with the 49ers except for the Seattle game, because in the Seattle game he didn't throw the ball other than a couple times in that first drive. And then you look at Darnold and he's kind of the same thing. And so you start to look at these guys, you start to compare them, you're trying to make decisions on them. Let's see what happens with either one of these guys. I don't believe Trey's great. I don't believe Sam's great. I don't believe that Lance sucks. And if I was going to say one of these guys sucks, I'd say it's more Darnold. But I also said that Alex Smith sucks during his time with the 49ers before Jim Harbaugh got here. So I'm not sure what we got here.
I think it's funny. I think the Niners are going to talk themselves into Darnold somehow. I kind of have this feeling they're going to talk themselves into Darnold. I think he could win this competition. He has more experience than Trey. I could see Sam Darnold being a really good practice quarterback. I've seen Trey in practice. To your point, he puts out some good plays and he's a little inconsistent. If you just track completions and incompletions, some days it's bad. So I could see Sam Darnold, if they get the same amount of reps, him having a higher completion percentage and the team feeling like, you know what, we'll just go with him because he's a little more consistent. I could see them talking themselves into that and Sam Darnold being Sam Darnold in real games. So, like, hey, whatever they want to do, whatever you want to decide, like, it'll play itself out. If Sam Darnold sucks, like, you can start him week 1. He won't be starting him by week 3. So whatever you want to do, that's fine. But I feel like the Niners are kind of volatile. Like, their offense usually they kind of treat the first month and a half as preseason. They don't really know who they are yet on offense. They're sort of finding what they do best. A lot of their guys are injured. And then by week 10, it's like they take off. So sometimes the quarterback that has to play early, like, you got to survive that. Trey didn't survive it. Jimmy has, to his credit, although Jimmy got hurt, midway through the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see. If they go through this entire season with these 3 as their quarterbacks, it'll be very interesting. Just there's something, you keep hearing so much talk about Darnold being the guy. It's weird. I don't know where it's coming from. You've heard it from Rappaport. You've heard it from his head, his quarterback coach. It's just, it's odd. There's just so much smoke around Sam Darnold over Trey Lance. And I'm just it's one of those things that for us covering the team, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to make it for must-watch TV, must-watch, reading or YouTube, whatever you want to say about the reports about how these guys are playing, especially early on during OTAs when we're the only ones that are there.
I have a theory. Like, I don't know if John and Kyle are privately telling these reporters off the record, like, Sam's going to start for us. But I can sort of, as a reporter that's been privy to some type of these conversations, sometimes you can have a conversation off the record and as a reporter ask about Trey and not get very much in response, and then ask about Sam Darnold and get a lot in response and sort of put 2 and 2 together. Like, hey, they were kind of tight-lipped about Trey. Didn't have a whole lot to praise or say. They were effusive in their praise about Sam. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, and that's probably how I would think too if I were them. Only thing is, maybe the Niners feel like, they handed Trey so much. They traded up for him. They made him the 3rd pick. They gave him Jimmy's job. Like, clearly the locker room felt he was anointed. Maybe they feel like, this is what's best for him. And if he can't rise to the occasion, then he clearly isn't the one.
Yeah, and that at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. He's going to have a chance here. He's going to have the opportunity during the offseason to go out and show, this great new throwing motion that he's worked on. He's got the opportunities, all these kind of things. So it's
sarcasm. The sarcasm.
I'm
with you though. I'm with you though.
The great new throwing.
Do you really change the throwing motion?
That is sarcasm, but he is going to, in terms of the other part of it is he is going to have the opportunity here. And that is not sarcasm. Yeah. I do believe that he has the opportunity. And I 100% believe that if he is the guy that the people that yell at me all the time say he is, then he is he'll be just fine. And I don't really care whether it's Trey Lance or Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy, because I get to write about him regardless. And as far as I'm concerned, they make the story. They tell you what you're going to write. If they have a good day, you talk about their practices, and they play practice bad, you talk about their bad practice. It's not that hard.
I guess what I'm trying to say though is I feel like the quarterback competition doesn't end week 1.
No, it doesn't.
In sense, it kind of starts week 1 because all the preseason games, all the practices, it's information, it's important, but how important? It's not really football. Preseason's football, but kind of. But practice isn't. So is that a situation where Trey will look way better than he really is, or Darnold will look way better than he really is, or you won't be able to glean anything from it? I guess we'll see. But I feel like the way the Niners are, whoever starts week 1, there's no guarantee you're playing week 3. I mean, the Niners go through these quarterbacks, baby. Like, we'll see who can stay healthy on this team playing quarterback. Hey, that's the real competition.
The Niners got us debating Trey Lance versus Sam Darnold all along, and Brock Purdy's going to be the guy that's going to start week 1 anyway. So,
God help him if that's the case. There's so much intrigue here, man. If they rush back Brock, what if he's only 50%? Can they win with him if he's 50%? Maybe they can. Maybe they can still win with Brock, even if he's like not quite himself yet.
Nah, they need him. He needs to be 100% healthy for him to be on the field. You don't put him on the field if he's not 100% healthy.
It seems like not the right. It's not. Forget him, right? It's not what's right for the future of your franchise if he's as special as you say he is.
That's not right for your team now either.
That's true.
If he's not 100% and he's not the guy that he's supposed to be, he's hurting you. So you
doesn't
can't
give you the best chance to win.
Yeah,
maybe that's why they think Sam Darnold gives him their best chance to win because Brock's hurt, Trey's inexperienced, and Sam is Sam Darnold. Hey man, all I know is he was 5 for 15 with 3 picks, 2 picks, and 2 fumbles. Week 7, 18. Mm-hmm. So, hey, dude, you do that one time on the 49ers, you're done for life. One time.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
They won the game. They won the game.
10-7. 10-7. They did. They absolutely did. But they absolutely did. Can't do that.
No,
so,
you can't do that at all.
Clean it up, baby. I mean, Trey Lance is getting thrown out of town for less than that.
Hey, no, you're right.
He hasn't gotten thrown out yet. I would have just chilled on Purdy and Trey and grabbed a Super Bowl worthy quarterback so they can send our vet home with the ring. Just grab a Super Bowl. Hey, hit up Tom. He's doing nothing. What do you think Tom Brady's doing right now? Watching us? Big fan.
Yeah, that's
big fan.
I guess. Yeah, maybe that's what he's talking about. There you go. Hey, bring him back home, and let him finish off with the Super Bowl.
I do think it's cool that you got Robert Saleh with Aaron Rodgers. You got Mike McDaniel with Tua. And we got D'Amico with CJ Stroud, and Kyle with a mystery bag. A bag of tricks. Christian McCaffrey could be throwing deep today. You don't know.
That's right. Well, maybe there you go. There's their fourth.
There you go.
Quarterback.
Who's the dude? Jack Coletto.
Oh, that's my favorite guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about Jack. You don't know what. Have you heard about what?
You don't think I fucking know about Jack Coletto?
Do you know what Jack Coletto's nickname is?
No. Jack Hammer. Yeah. Absolutely, I did see that. Yes.
That guy is going to be the best. He's going to come out there. That's the quarterback for when they get the rookie minicamp. There you go.
No question. Absolutely.
the Jack Hammer from Oregon State. Absolutely.
I love what Kyle Shanahan. Every player is like, okay, but can you play running back and can you throw? Okay, all right, you can be on my team. That's why they don't like running. He doesn't like right tackles because they can't play running back and they can't throw. I'm sorry, man. There's not much I can do with you, dude. You just block? Fuck blocking. I'm sorry. I can scheme that shit. I don't need you to block. Blocking's overrated. Kyle should make a book called Blocking's Overrated. I think that would be the Kyle Shanahan story right there. Protect yourself, quarterback, by Kyle Shanahan.
Hey, it's we'll see, man. I'm really interested in seeing how this whole right tackle position works out. That's one we didn't get into today too much, but Colton McKivitz, come on down. Let's see what you got.
So when the 49ers are in the Super Bowl, like Vegas says, who's going to be the quarterback playing for them that day? Jack Coletto.
There you go. Off the practice.
Christian McCaffrey. No, they're actually going to unveil a new offense this year with no quarterback. It's going to be great. Everyone could be a threat to throw at any time. You don't know who it is. Could it be Christian? Could it be Debo? You don't know. But they're going to run the ball, so it doesn't matter.
It's going to be like those old videos. They're going to have like 4 guys that are just going to rotate in the backfield, that taking their turns getting the snaps. There you go.
So you make the 3-man weave, just go in the backfield.
There you go.
Oh, I can't wait, man. It's been a really great week. Thank you very much, 49ers, for doing things and making them controversial as always. You could have just, had a good draft, stick to the script, not reach for anyone, but you didn't do that. You took a kicker. You took 2 tight ends. Thank God love you. And you walk in like knowing like, yeah, we did some weird stuff. But you're going to like it, and you're going to get a lot of money from it. So don't complain. Fair enough, Kyle.
Absolutely.
What you got going on the rest of the day, the rest of the week, Jack?
I'll be putting some stuff out. I'm not, as far as live shows, I don't have anything set up right now for the rest of the week, but there'll be some videos that I'll be putting out over the course of the week. Some different topics regarding the draft and guys that I think are going to step up to kind of fill some of the voids. So just keep it locked into the channel. You'll see new stuff pop up as it comes up.
Love it. JCK510 says Niners quarterback situation is a game show. Now I have this idea of after every practice, you should line each quarterback up over like a water tank and interview them at the same time. And if they give a bad answer, it's like, and they have to get dropped in the water tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, dang.
That's a good idea. You don't like their answer, you just walk up and hit the thing and they fall in the water.
What was the coverage on that second play? Cover 2? No.
There you go. That'd be fantastic.